Is the Pac-12 the best college football conference in America right now? And my real question is, how would you look at any other conference as being better than an undefeated Pac-12 conference? Big wins on national TV. You know, Oregon, Washington, you look at Utah beating Florida. I think the Pac-12 is the best conference in the country, top to bottom right now. I look at the way DJ Uiagalelei played at Oregon State. I thought he was fantastic, that Stanford and Cal got wins. You look at this conference, and you look at Jaden Rashada at Arizona State. I think you look at the Cam Wards at Washington State. The quarterback play in this conference, and I know we've talked about this a lot this summer, but the quarterback play in this conference is ultimately going to determine who wins and who loses. And, Jake, I think right now the best quarterback play and the best football play is in the Pac-12.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, it's a conference full of talents at quarterback. And I think that, Caleb Williams is just the tip of the iceberg, if you will. I mean, it's Oregon State, it's Washington. I mean, there's so many guys in this league that can play. And I think the trouble is for the Pac-12 is that I feel like we have this conversation every year. And it's like, hey, we're really strong. We get big wins early in the year. Like, we play our ass off early in the year. And then it kind of fizzles out when we get later in the year. And I'm not exaggerating with this. The hyper on the Pac-12 fizzles out later in the year. And why do you think that is? Well, it's because soccer writer guy doesn't watch. East Coaster doesn't watch. You know why? Because it's dark outside. Nobody wants to stay up to watch a West Coast conference. And I think that's a huge thing for all these West Coast schools that have come to the Midwest and the Big Ten and the Big 12. You're going to get people that have to watch because you're playing K-State. You're playing Ohio State. You're playing whoever. Like, you're not giving them a choice when the matchup is as big as it's going to be.
Or when Deion is coaching the team that is playing your team or is on the TV. Because the other thing, look at the Colorado TCU number. My God.
Do you believe?
7 million plus tuned in to watch Deion. I didn't say Colorado. To watch Deion take on TCU. 7 million people. So not only are you undefeated as a league, not only do you have the biggest name and the biggest story in college football in Deion Sanders, but you also have the best quarterback league in the country and the best quarterback play in the country. Never mind that Cam Rising did not play for Utah. Mm-hmm. Let's not overlook that fact. You have everything right now in front of you. I don't think there's any question going to week 2. The Pac-12 is the best conference in the country for football. But I also don't think there's any question the Pac-12 is going to eat itself here coming into October. I have no doubt about it. It's what has ailed this conference for 12 years, is that you have never been able to do what Georgia is doing in the SEC cupcake schedule, to do what Ohio State and Michigan are doing in the Big Ten cupcake schedule. You just don't have that option in the Pac-12 because it's 12 teams that are all individual and unique and run their faces into each other. And it's why I question USC's ability to run the table late in the year because the schedule becomes so difficult. It's what you want to talk about. Bo Nix. What happened to Bo Nix last year? Bo Nix ran into that Beaver buzzsaw.
Yep.
And frankly, ended their hopes at the college football playoff.
Yep.
Now you put up 81 points with Bo Nix, and maybe Oregon's trying to prove a point.
I'm for real.
Is there anybody that doubts Oregon's a college football playoff team today? Because I don't. I look at Michael Penix in Washington. That's a college football playoff team.
Yep.
Caleb in SC. That's a college football playoff team. I look at Utah's defense. That's the best defense in the conference, and I think it's a top 5 defense in the country. They could easily be a college football playoff team. Yeah, they're going to have to get through the conference first.
And I know it pisses everyone off. Oh, but the SEC.
Yeah.
And I know the SEC has been winning championships left and right. I don't dispute that. But we're not talking about winning championships right now. We're talking about the best conference in the land. And I think I think the Pac-12 has a real stake at that. And it's really, again, I keep saying it, it's really unfortunate that this conference died because, again, this is the type of quality it produces on the football field. They just can't seem to get it done in winning season at the end of the year. And that's what I think the quite literally the double-edged sword is. You have such a good conference, that none of your teams can survive, and that's the problem.
Yeah, I think it's a significant problem. I think it is a significant problem, and that if you're a fan of the Pac-12, you had better enjoy it while you can. Oh, look who's back. Aaron Wilson, after taking a day off. After taking a day off, look who's back. Look who's back from Wyoming. Good to see you, Aaron. Good to see you. Let's see. Provo Cougar fan. Too bad there isn't a 12-team college football playoff this year. Seriously. JC, what conference doesn't eat itself? The SEC does not eat itself.
Nope.
The Big Ten does not eat itself.
Nope.
The ACC's ever deeper. And Florida State now. Did you guys see Brett McMurphy today? And I want to make sure I get this right. Because the good old Brett, I don't know if Brett McMurphy is just trying to stir the pot.
There's some wild shit going on right now.
But I don't know what my guy is doing when he's doing these bowl projections. Like, hey, come on now. Brett, just it's week 2. Can we just not do bowl projections?
Look here, man.
Can we just wait? And I love the fact that, hey, LSU and Florida State drew 9 million viewers. But I love that Colorado and TCU drew 7.2 million viewers, and people are ripping the Pac-12 for that. As though because it's Deion drawing the 7.2, there's a problem with it.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way to have a problem with the Pac-12. The biggest story in college football is Deion Sanders in Colorado, and he currently resides in the Pac-12. Might be for just 15 more minutes, but he currently resides in the Pac-12, and they drew 7.2 million fans to the 2.
Yep.
Like that, there's no way to spin that.
No way around it, man.
There is no way to spin that.
I think again, and I'm sure you guys have gotten your fill probably 10 times over on Deion talk, but I think, dude, Deion deserves a lot of credit, man. And I know it's only one game, but I agree with all the people saying, hey, he's already been more successful than they were, right? He's already changed the tide of that program. And everyone's like, oh, well, it's only one win. They had one win last year. Okay, great. Difference is one win is week 1, not week 10. Like, it's different. And by the way, he's making them a crap load of money. So, I think it's, again, just going to keep saying it. This conference is very healthy on the football field, and you're starting to get a taste of what the Big 12 and the Big 10 are going to be like.
Yep, I agree. Mike Smith, good afternoon to you. If it has not already, Caleb should take some of that NIL money and get some Lloyd's of London type insurance. He has it, and SC helps him provide it in case he gets hurt and cannot play again or draft stock drops. Yeah, he absolutely has it. And SC helps him pay for that policy. So, yeah, it is absolutely the case. Stephen Keel says, yeah, you say Michigan has not won. When has the PAC? What has that got to do with anything? What is the Pac-12's lack of college football playoff presence? What has that got to do with Jim Harbaugh being an abject failure as a football coach at Michigan? What are we comparing the two for? Why aren't you asking how come SMU or the AAC or the ACC or the... Oh, because you can't talk directly about Jim Harbaugh being nothing but a failure at Michigan. Because that's what he's been.
Yeah.
And I'm tired of, like, Utah got blown out in the Rose Bowl and play no defense in the PAC. So, clearly, I'm just going to guess you've never seen Utah play a football game. Because that's one of the most foolish statements I've ever seen.
Yeah, and we're not the only ones who respect Utah's defense.
Come on now. Jim Choi, Pac-12 constantly cannibalizes each other every year.
Yes.
Every single year.
Yes.
Every year they do. Derek Myrie says Michigan is the truth. I don't doubt they're more talented. I don't doubt that Jim and his staff have done a good job recruiting and that this is one of the most talented teams. Now you need to, in his final year at Michigan, you need to go and show us that you're the truth. Because you haven't been the truth in I don't know how long. Michigan.
In fact, you've been everything except the truth.
Jim Harbaugh's been nothing short of a massive disappointment, and his NFL threat every summer is getting old. And I'm not even a Michigan fan. And I'm over with it. I just can't do it. Let's see. Who else? Boy, there is some heat in the comments section today.
What are people pissed about?
Man, I am amazed by it. I am amazed by it. It is we'll see. Kaufman, I still think it's way too early to say any conference is the best after week 1. Okay, well, who's the best conference after week 1?
Pac-12.
Yeah, I don't. Is this
13
really?
13-0.
Is it really objectionable that the Pac? And I'm happy. Let's do a poll on it.
Yeah.
Let's do a poll on it. Okay, start the poll.
Guys. We're doing a poll.
Is the Pac-12 the best football conference in America?
Do you believe?
Let's see. Start the poll. There you go. The poll has been posted in the chat. Is the Pac-12 the best football conference in America?
Here we go.
Or excuse me, in America.
Merca.
I don't know how you say no. Objectively, I don't know how you say no.
Well, I just think there are too many people out there who have the take that Utah sucks and they don't play defense. Like, dude, if you're that guy, you need to step down off your high horse as whatever fan you are and go watch some Utah football tape, because I guarantee you their defense is better than yours.
Aaron Wilson says, I was here yesterday.
No, you weren't.
Really?
No, you weren't.
Really?
Oh, no.
We were looking for you.
You were not here.
Yeah.
You were not here, dog.
Harry Austin, SEC is overrated as a conference. It's top-heavy, but the conference is poor after that. Well, somebody forgot to tell Lane Kiffin that. I would largely agree that the SEC has been top-heavy. I don't think that's the case. They're not certainly the Big Ten, who's a 2.5-team conference.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at the SEC this year, I would expect Georgia, Tennessee. I'm a little surprised Florida is just that bad. Florida just got that ass swooped.
Yeah.
They were that bad. But Bama, certainly, I have high expectations for Arkansas, Ole Miss, A&M, LSU. Huge disappointment in LSU. LSU sucking out loud absolutely hurts them.
Mm-hmm.
But I also think if you look at the ACC, isn't the ACC top-heavy? When you look at Florida State, now Clemson at the bottom. But, I mean, obviously Duke's going to be a problem for everybody. I think Miami's in a very interesting position. North Carolina's the truth. That's a good football team. But nobody has the depth that the Pac-12 has right now. If you go down the Pac-12, I think I could put at USC's got the best offense. I think arguably the best offense in the country.
Yeah.
The best offense in the conference. I think Colorado, Oregon, Oregon State, Utah, Washington, all legit. I think Washington State's going to win a lot of games that you don't think they should win. And I actually was really impressed with Pac-10 Jedfish in Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
I was pleasantly surprised at how efficient they looked offensively.
Yeah.
I was pleasantly surprised at how well Jaden Rashada played for Arizona State.
There's no doubt the bottom of the conference is coming up. I mean, there's just no doubt about that.
Certainly. But is Cal and Stanford? No, they're not. They're not. Is Washington State going to win 10 games? No, they're not. Is Oregon State? Yeah, they are. There is balance. There is depth. I think there is a lot that you like in the Pac-12, and I just don't have any doubt. I don't have any doubt that they are the best conference in the country here and now, right here today.
Yeah.
On September 6th, yeah, absolutely they are. 57 to 43 in the poll that's up in the comment section here on YouTube. 133 votes, 57% say yes. I'd love to hear.
Yes.
You know, in the comment section, if it's not the Pac-12, who is it?
Yeah, let's hear from all the unbelievers.
Hello Billy gives us $5 to say Pac-12 is great. Can't wait to see how they do next year in a 12-team playoff. Oh, that's right. Cold-blooded. There was no reason for that shot, sir. Awesome. Hero75 for $10. I hope that next year the Big Ten and the Big 12 organize cross-conference games with old Pac teams. It'd be interesting to see if those games bring more viewers as Big 10 versus Big 12 games and Pac-12 games. Well, I mean, if you look at the numbers and you start to really pay attention to what games people watched this week, we are front runners by nature of being fans. I mean, Ohio State, Indiana drew 4.6 million viewers. How many of those you think were Indiana fans? 12? Not million, like 12 total, I think. I mean, Penn State drew 3.5 million against West Virginia. Nebraska Mini was 3.5 million. Carolina 3.4. Oregon State, San Jose State. How about Oregon State, San Jose State drawing 3.2 million? You keep doubting me on Oregon State, my friends.
Yeah, man.
Texas. Oregon State outdrew Texas. Texas and Rice, 3.2 million.
You know.
Northwestern Rutgers, 2.7.
The idea that Northwestern and Rutgers got 2 million views is crazy.
Remarkable. I'm telling you, man, college football is healthy.
Yeah.
And dominant. Healthy and dominant. No doubt. No doubt in my mind. Healthy and dominant. Without question. Ruff's official is here.
Wow.
You'll notice they only hate on certain people. Well, but isn't that what everybody does?
Yeah, isn't that how that? I mean, are we supposed to hate everybody?
We're supposed to hate nobody? Like,
dude, if you're Team Jim
one
Harbaugh,
of the dumbest things I've ever seen.
Dude, if you're trying to say that we shouldn't hate Jim Harbaugh, it is what it is, man.
I don't know. Phoenix Master, the power of free to air stations. Let's put Arizona Wildcats on there every week. Well, I think that's coming. I absolutely think that's coming. Ruffs also says they'll hate on SMU and slob all over BYU. When have we slobbed all over BYU? Well, thanks for being here and commenting, though. JC, Penn State has a lot of priests watching them. Guy, come on. That's terrible.
You know.
Posted proof I was here from the beginning of the show in the members-only chat, so you boys see it.
I knew today would be shitty.
That was you yesterday.
you know.
Aaron, are you okay, dude?
Aaron's a Texas Tech fan, not a Wyoming fan. He'll always be. That's some weird record type front running there, Monty. What's some weird record type front running?
Yeah, what do you mean?
What do you mean? I don't know what you mean by that. Today feels like we have a weird karma now. I don't know what's going on.
Wyatt likes the fight guy in the chat today.
I don't know what's going on, but it feels like we have some weird energy in the hizzy today.
Sorry if you're offended by that.
Maybe should we?
This is the Monty Show.
Do we need to start over here?
Sports Talk streaming.
I know what we need. I know what we need. We need to hit a buckshot.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's get it done. Bucked Up Energy, the official energy provider of the Monty Show. Had a long discussion with a bunch of you last night. And we're like, my blood raz is sold out in buckshot. Make them stock it again. Reached out to the CEO. He said they're working on it. Cheers, friends.
Yeah.
Bucked Up Energy, the buckshot's amazing. 200 milligrams of caffeine, you guys. It's just a mental brain lift. That's what it is. It is. What I refer to it as is it is an adrenaline shot for your brain because you just feel better. You have more energy. You get a mental lift. You think better. You can concentrate. You got those TPS reports to do in the afternoon. Buckshot.
Yes.
You need to go work out. You want a little more focus. Use their Banff. Use any of the Bucked Up pre-workouts. You're just going to rock your workout. PR Day, Bucked Up pre-workout, right? Everything they make from their collagen peptides, their all of their pre-workout, all of their BCAAs, all of their products have good ingredients, and they simply do what they tell you they're going to do. You need low stim, they have low stim, 100 milligram, no caffeine. You need high stim, they've got all kinds of stuff for you. Banff, I'll tell you, Callan Von Moger's Banff product is so good. My wife loves it. But they're multivitamin. I love their collagen peptide, hair, nails, and skin. Amazing, you guys. Hook it up. Use the promo code Monty20 at checkout. And yes, they have watermelon buckshot. It is sitting there on the website. I checked it right before the show. Go get it right now, buckedup.com. It is not only in stock, it is on sale. And if you use the promo code Monty20, it's a huge saving on buckshot. So go check it out, buckedup.com. Make sure you tell them you heard about it on the Monty Show. Tarrant County, boy. Monty hates khakis. I do. I never wear them. I never wear them.
He's not talking about the pants. He's not talking about
Yeah, I think he is.
He's not talking about the pants.
But I think he is.
No.
Daniel Dixon says, bucked up pink lemonade is the bomb. It is really good. Cherry candy bucked up, you guys. Let's go. It is so good. J.K. Marshall says, Harbaugh makes Monty sad. He doesn't. The thing that, again, I think we get into a place in college sports where we turn coaches into gods. But who's like, we're talking about Nick Saban. That's a guy you should laud and give the benefit of the doubt.
Nick Saban is a better man than you are.
What has Jim Harbaugh done to earn that?
Well, he won a national championship.
Never. What has Jim Harbaugh done to earn that? He plays in a soft conference. Essentially a two-team conference until next season. But right now it's a two-team conference. What has Jim Harbaugh done to do that? What is he goated at? And this whole the cherry on top of the Harbaugh, Sunday of hate is that he openly has disdain for the rules and now wants to attack the NCAA. So it's not that I just for some reason hate Jim Harbaugh. As a Bears fan, shouldn't I love Jim Harbaugh? I should, but I just think he's what's wrong with college football.
Well, that's the issue, isn't it?
He's what's wrong with it.
Yeah.
That's for me.
Jim wants to stir the pot, dude. There's no doubt.
I look at Jim Harbaugh. He's a lovely regular season coach in a very, very mediocre Big Ten. If you look at his schedules over, I don't know, call it the last 3 seasons, go look at his schedules, and you tell me how many big games has Jim Harbaugh won, and you're like, my God. You got
to get stroked.
Jim Harbaugh, how did he ever?
I'm so bricked up right now.
Last year, Jim Harbaugh goes undefeated until the Fiesta Bowl and loses to TCU by beating Colorado State, Hawaii, UConn, Maryland, Iowa, Indiana, Penn State, bye week, Michigan State, Rutgers, Nebraska, Illinois. And then his big win last year was at Ohio State. Who here is impressed with that schedule?
Man, is that anywhere as tough as the Pac-12 schedule?
Then in 2021, Western Michigan, Washington, at Michigan. He beat Washington. Good win, 31-10. NIU, Rutgers, Wisconsin, Nebraska, bye week. Northwestern, Michigan State, Indiana, Penn State, good win. At Happy Valley, he won. Maryland, Ohio State, Iowa, and then lost to Georgia in the Capital One Bowl. So you're winning all these easy cupcake games in the Big Ten.
Because it's garbage.
And you're winning the games. To his credit, Jim Harbaugh has won the game he's supposed to win, Ohio State. Do you want to beat Ohio State or do you want to beat TCU? Because in my mind, I'm thinking you probably want to win both those games, but Jim Harbaugh's not that guy.
Yeah.
And even in the COVID shortened year, they were 2-4. Okay, throw that one out. The guy just does not win the majority of his big games of consequence. And I mean like TCU. I mean bowl games.
Georgia.
He's not that guy.
Yeah, and I think the issue is that the reason that Jim Harbaugh annoys me is because of the way he acts, his attitude, his sort of shtick, if you will. Like, Nick Saban can be an asshole because Nick Saban is Nick Saban, and nobody's going to question that.
Correct.
Right? Nick Saban can give you, or can be a pain in the ass about the depth chart because he can, because he's won a bunch, and it's undisputed. The problem with me for Jim Harbaugh is that he hasn't won a national championship. I'm not even sitting here saying the guy's got to have 7. I just want any. Literally just one.
How do you this year justify him not winning the national championship? If you're a Michigan guy, let's go. I'm here for it. How do you justify Jim Harbaugh not winning a national championship this year? Because I don't understand this whole. Do you realize that this guy is damaging Michigan? If he leaves this summer, which 9 out of 10 people think he's gone, because he's never taken a 6-game suspension from the NCAA. He will never do that.
Yeah.
So if he leaves Michigan, how do you explain the damage that guy's done over the last 3 years? I don't know. I have no idea. I really don't understand it.
Yeah.
Richard, Harbaugh is instigator. If he beats your team, he will insult the coach. I remember when he was a coach at Stanford, he created heated words with some of the coaches in the PAC except Oregon. Because that's who Jim's a red ass. Covering him at Stanford and the 49ers. Jim's not that guy that's beloved by his players.
Mm-hmm.
He's that guy you tolerate because you believe that he's going to win you games. And as soon as anything gets turbulent or you don't start winning games, Jim Harbaugh jumps.
Yep.
That's who the guy is. That is who he is. And I think he's terrible for college sports.
Yeah, and again, it has nothing to do with Michigan in the sense of, hey, we don't like Jim Harbaugh because it's Michigan. I mean, I think Michigan's one of the most important brands of college athletics. I mean, again,
I agree.
Michigan basketball is incredibly important to the process. And I think, again, I think the best point on Jim is that he does damage Michigan's reputation. And it surprises me that Michigan is so committed to keeping him after the way he's handled everything and, everything he's done. I mean, when we're not doing the show, my whole opinion on Jim has always been, dude, like Jim is the guy you bring in when you just want to go to the playoff. Like when
Correct.
You just kind of want to make an appearance and say, yeah, we're a college football playoff team. We've been there. Like we're good.
Yeah.
But if you want to win, Jim is not the guy.
By the way, the poll update is the Pac-12, the best football conference in America. 56% of 233 votes say yes, the Pac-12 is the best conference.
Do you believe?
I'm a little surprised by that. I am a little surprised by that. Lance Johnson, Deion, and the Buffs will be in the Pac-12 on the way out the door to the Big 12 and UT's recruits. They're not taking Texas's recruits.
No.
They're not. Hans Stoley. Jim won the Super Bowl, or was that John? That was not Jim. That was John. John Teal for $2. Can Washington, Oregon State do enough for a late invite to the Big 12? I don't think so. The Big 12 wants nothing to do with 18 and 20.
No.
I just don't. It's sad, but I think Oregon State's that great program that's left on the outside looking in.
Yep.
That for me. It is. It's really interesting that when you look at Oregon State, that's a program in an athletic department that does it right. That does it 100% right.
Facts.
And there's a lot of them. The sad thing in the Pac-12, there's a lot of them. Right? USC largely under Lincoln Riley, I think USC's done a really nice job. Clay Helton was terrible. I mean, pick your poison there. I look at Chip Kelly at UCLA. They largely do it right. Caleb DeBoer, you can look at Dan Lanning. You can look at, you go up and down this conference. Obviously, Kyle Whittingham at Utah is one of the best head coaches in the country.
Mm-hmm.
And again, why I keep going back to Jim Harbaugh is he clearly does it wrong everywhere he's been and yet just keeps failing upward. Just keeps failing upward. And I have issue with programs like Florida State. This is a massive year for Florida State after all of the politics in the ACC to see Mike Norvell come out and dominate, just dominate LSU in the second half. That was hell of impressive. That was, my goodness, what a moment for Florida State. But I look at Pervin Liar. I look at Jim Harbaugh. I put them in the same class, dude.
Yeah.
I think they're terrible for the kids that are in their program. I just think they're terrible for it. Let's see. Beavs and Cougs to the ACC. Not going to happen.
Nope.
Not going to happen. The ACC wants nothing to do with Stanford and Cal largely. Do you really think they're going to add two more of their former Pac-12 friends? No.
Associates?
No. And I don't know who saw it, but did you guys see that Kirk Schultz released a statement that basically said, yeah, I'm going to sue. We're going to sue. That's the way we're going to get whole here. We're going to file a lawsuit. Okay. You do you.
You do that, bud.